Elon Musk has finally taken his money and gone home. He's officially out of the government. At least that's what he says. That's the cover story. Reporters, stay on him, please. But anyway, he posted this on Twitter saying, as my scheduled time as a special government employee comes to an end, I would like to thank President Donald Trump for the opportunity to reduce wasteful spending. Yeah, that's what he was doing. The doggy mission will only strengthen over time as it becomes a way of life throughout the government. And as always, I do want to thank him for that, because no one had ever thought about how the government should try to reduce spending that it doesn't need. No one had ever come up with that idea before, but now he gave it to us, like how he invented cars and rockets. And I think going forward, we're all better because of the experiment of doggy. And so anyway, he's gone. That's the good thing. We'll have more details, including Grok mocking him a little bit, which will be fun. But assuming he's actually done, Tory, what do you make of it? How are you feeling? Did we survive this period?
Well, the Musk has left. You can smell clean air again. The Musk is gone. We appreciate that. I just wanted to give a metaphor to your dragons and your viewers and listeners. To me, what Musk does and how he treats the world and sees the world. So to me, Musk sees like a rocket, for instance. He builds the rocket kind of goes up, and it explodes, definitely, right? It definitely falls apart. It crashes on the ground, then in a terrible disaster. And then he doesn't call that a disaster. He sort of picks through the trash and he's like, well, this worked, but this doesn't work. And that's how he applies everything, right? Tesla, they crash into people, they crash into cars, they crash into poles. Let's take a look, undo it. That's sort of the way he came in to the White House, kind of like Bam Bam. If you guys, I'm going all the way to Flintstones. But he comes in and destroys it all and then creates even a bigger mess, right? So then the courts have to come in and be like, actually, you can't fire those people and you couldn't fire these people and you messed up this. So now we have to go back and rehire. So in fact, the doggy efficiency, which sounds like a weird sex title of something, is actually the least efficient way of doing something, right? To come in and destroy it all and then pick up the pieces and realize what you could do. So to me, it's coming in with a hammer instead of a scalpel. And in DC, I'm from there. You gotta go in with a scalpel. You've gotta be careful. You can't just explode departments and then expect them to be okay. And so to me, he came in like Bam Bam and left a mess. And that's what it was. And it was inefficient at best. And that kind of rhymed. So I'm a rapper.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
The doggy diversion was scary a bit, but I like the rapping at the end.
Thanks.
But yeah, so you've diagnosed the strategy, sort of the technique. How do you do it? Do you have a hammer? Do you have a chainsaw? Do you have a scalpel? Which I think you're totally right about. Also, like, humility can be helpful when you're talking about cutting from every department and you don't understand anything. Like, you don't.
None.
The issue is that he does not know how stupid he is. That is his biggest problem. But then the other thing is motivation. Like, whether you go in with a hammer or with a scalpel, are your motivations actually to find spending that isn't needed and is actually a waste, of which you could find hundreds of billions of dollars? The issue is
many.
He didn't actually care about that. He went in with ideological goals. He wants to get wokeness out of the government. Whatever is woke, whatever benefits communities that he despises, that is by definition wasteful. Hundreds of billions of dollars being given to military contractors is fine because they are good, upstanding companies.
Right.
And so his motivation was corrupt. So the outcome of it was always going to be bad. It was just worse than it might have otherwise been, because he's also really bad at his job because he's stupid and he refuses to learn.
Say how you really feel, John. Don't hold back.
Look,
okay.
For years, I've been trying to get people to understand who Elon Musk is. And thankfully, he helped out by getting into government, shoving himself in everybody's faces. But I've been trying for years. He could have, and I'll try to be fast on this. Does he have some skills, some talent? Yes. He has invested in some companies that had good people who had invented good things and were smart. And he got people hyped up about them. Now, generally, a lot of what he would do to hype it up is lies. He'd say it's going to be done now. It's done 10 years later. It's going to be this price. It's actually twice as much. He's a carnival barker. He's a con man. But it can be helpful to a company to have a con man to get people excited or whatever. And if you're like Tesla, where you have good engineers and stuff, or if you're at SpaceX and you have good aerospace engineers, people who understand cars and rockets in a way that Elon Musk never will, that's good. But he comes in and then thinks, I'm responsible for all of this. Everybody told him he's a genius. He started to believe it. He's the ultimate case of Dunning-Kruger. He has no idea how mediocre he is because he is insulated from the mediocrity that he embodies. But I've been making fun of him and I've enjoyed that. Let's let his own technology mock him for just a second. Shadow Ninja asked Grok to summarize Elon's achievements as a special government employee. And Grok said he led Doggy, which technically the government pretends he didn't lead it for legal purposes, but he did, claiming $160 billion in savings. And blah, 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 blah. However, these efforts face criticism for potentially costs of $135 billion in lost productivity, legal challenges, and service disruptions. Concerns about Musk's business conflicts and political motivations persist, with public opinion divided as 54% view him unfavorably. The true impact of Doggy remains debated amid ongoing scrutiny. That is devastating. Like, it's $160 billion that they say they cut. I don't even know that they really did. But even if they did, they're just saying it's wasteful spending. They're killing stuff they don't like. And then almost all of that then has to go into cleaning up the mess they've created. So wouldn't it have been better to have the spending in the first place than to waste it on court troubles, Tori?
That's what I'm saying. When the court has to get involved with your choices, you've actually become the most inefficient part of DC. You've created a mess that now others have to clean up. And I have to be honest, when I listen to Musk, I think he regrets going into this. Like, I think he understands that he stepped into something, or at least maybe he doesn't, but I hope he does, that really was over his head, and a world he does not understand. Politics doesn't work the way Musk does. And it looks like he sheepishly fell away in sort of a slinking bad doggy. Bad doggy, that's what it is.
Oh, there's your podcast title. Yeah. So
good one.
Look, I'm gonna turn it in a second to, we've been making fun of Elon Musk. I wanna make fun of one other person related to this. I just wanna quickly say, I agree with you. I think that he regrets it to some extent.
Yeah.
I think he corruptly benefited quite a bit monetarily due to this, but his reputation is shot.
Gone, yep.
And he was mocked so much that he left government. That's phase one. Phase two is we mock him even more, so he'll leave Tesla, and that'll be good. But even then, we're not done. We will not be done until we've mocked him so much that he leaves the planet. That's phase three. It should be our entire species goal. Get him off this rock. But for now, I'm gonna take a little bit of pride and joy in the fact that phase one was successful at the very least.
Well done.
And very briefly, let's just mention this. So they've put $9.4 million of the doggy cuts are being sent to Congress to be legislatively passed, which is almost a joke. Yeah. They say they've cut $160 billion. Hey, let's have Congress approve of 9 million of it. That's not even worth taking up, you jackasses. But anyway, in this message, graphic 5, you'll see that Marge, she's super happy about this. And in fact, she thinks they should be doing this on a weekly basis, codifying these things, which first of all, I largely agree. If you're gonna do the cuts, at least pretend to do it democratically. But the reason I bring this up is she says in the closing part of that tweet, as a country, we cannot survive our national debt. And honestly, we may be past the point of return. We should be aggressively attacking our debt. She says after voting for the bill that is gonna add trillions and trillions of dollars to the debt, and celebrating a man, Donald Trump, who added trillions and trillions to the debt the last time he was president. And so the hell out of here with your BS, yes. Marge. We see through the games you're playing.
Don't look at the notes. Look at the way they vote. I was trying to rhyme. Did you hear that? Did you guys feel that? A bumper sticker, maybe, huh? But yeah.
But if there are community notes on her tweet, look at those because they can be quite funny. But I agree with the first point. That was good.